Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on graphs question number 9 with me, Mr. Barton. It's our final question. It's quite a toughie, but we'll be absolutely fine. The table below shows some of the values of y equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 9 for the values x equals minus 4 to 3. Complete the table below. Now, I talked about filling these in and I gave you a few little tips on the question 8, so I'll have a look back at that. But my final tip that I didn't tell you, so we didn't need it on the previous one, is if you're substituting stuff in, my advice is always start by substituting a positive number in, because it just tends to be a lot easier than a negative number and it gets you warmed up. But remember my previous tip. Try substituting in a value that you've been given and to see if you get an answer you've been given. Substitute 3, and if 18 comes out, it's going to mean that you're probably going to get this one right. So let's have a look at this. 2's going in. So y is equal to 2 lots of x squared, where x is 2 in this case, plus 3 lots of 2 minus 9. Okay, so 2 lots of 2 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4, so it's 2 lots of 4. Plus 3 lots of 2, that's plus 6, take away 9. 2 lots of 4, that's 8, plus 6, take 9. 8 plus 6 is 14, take away 9. If my maths is right, I think it's 5. So we get x equals 5. Also check it seems to follow a pattern. 18 goes down to 5, down to minus 4. This is looking like it's going down, and then it's going to sneak back up, which is hopefully going to match the U-shaped curve that we're imagining here. What about this one? You've got to be a little bit more careful with this. 2 lots of minus 2 plus 3 lots of minus 2. Sorry, 2 lots of minus 2 squared minus 9. Well, minus 2 squared is still positive 4, so that's still 2 lots of 4. But then we've got 3 lots of minus 2. That's minus 6 this time. Take away 9. Okay, 2 lots of positive 4 is 8. Take away 6. Take away 9. 8 take away 6 is going to be 2. Take off 9, I think it's going to go down to minus 7. Okay, now be willing to kind of reverse those predictions if this doesn't form a U-shaped graph, because this is like a double checking mechanism for you. So let's plot them on. When x equals minus 4, y equals 11. Have a quick check of your scale. Your x-axis goes across where you've got whole numbers, and we've only got whole numbers to deal with, so that's fine. Your y-axis goes up in 5s, and there are 5 squares in between, so each square is going to be 1. When x equals minus 4, y is going to be equal to 11. When x equals minus 3, y is going to be 0. When x equals minus 2, y is going to be minus 7. When x equals minus 1, y is going to be, oh dear me, when x equals minus 1, y is going to be minus 10. That shouldn't have gone there. When x equals 0, y is going to be minus 9. That's better, 1 up. When x equals 1, y is going to be minus 4. When x equals 2, y is going to be 5. And when x equals 3, y is going to be equal to 18. Does that look like a U-shaped curve? Not too bad. When you join it up, it's got to be smooth. It's got to go through each point. Certainly not got to be a straight line. Not bad. Bit dodgy towards this top bit, but not too bad. Alright, use your graph to solve 2x squared plus 3x minus 9 equals 0. So we've done one like this before. That's saying where is that curve equal to 0, or where does that curve cross the line y equals 0? Y equals 0, otherwise known as the x-axis. So where does that curve cross the x-axis? Well, it crosses it there, and it crosses it there. So x equals minus 3, that's one crossing point, and on my graph there it seems to be about 4 squares across, so I'm going to go for x equals 1.8, but they'll give you a bit of leeway either side with that one. And then the final question of our graphs, use your graph to solve 2x squared plus 3x minus 9, that's our graph there, equals 6. Well, that's just saying where does it cross the line y equals 6? Well, let's draw the line y equals 6 on. Y equals 6, all y equals are horizontal when it's a number like that. So let's draw the line y equals 6 on. Let's label it y equals 6. And where does the graph cross that? Well, it crosses it there, and it crosses it there. What are our x values for that? So read them off. Mine goes, I think it's minus 3, and it's kind of 3 squares into that. So I think that's, if each square is 0.2, that's going to be x equals minus 3.6 on mine. So x equals minus 3.6. And what about this side here? Well, it crosses it just 1 square after the 2. So I think that's going to be x equals 2.2. So 2 solutions for x there. And that concludes our voyage through straight line graphs, quadratic graphs, cubic graphs, every type of graph you could imagine.